All right, what the fuck is up? And welcome. That sounded so douchey. What the fuck? What is up? Happening? Welcome to the Comedy's Dead podcast. Welcome to week 2 of take 2 of this fucking podcast. I don't know how to take the old episodes down offline, but I'm horrifically embarrassed by them. But I'm already gonna be horrifically embarrassed by this too. So really, who gives a shit, man? Yeah, I don't know. This is the podcast where I assume girls I used to date and their friends and comedians who dislike me listen to laugh at me, and then girls currently interested listen to be like, you know what, never mind. That's what I assume is happening here. But nice to talk to y'all, I guess. Hope everything's well. Let's see. I am driving fucking home from a road gig up in Manchester, New Hampshire. I'm gonna be completely honest. I did record this on the way up. Not this. I've recorded a different take of this episode on the way up. But it got really dark and sad, so I don't know if I'm putting that one out, and I also don't know how to upload it from my notes app to the podcast app, or this is just on the podcast app, so I think it's gonna be easier. I don't fucking know. I'm recording this like literally just talking into my fucking phone. See, the last episode I have like a whole fucking podcast setup, but I think I had the master too low because the game was right because I didn't want too much feedback, but I had to talk really close into the mic for it to sound right, and it just kind of sounded like I was doing NPR. So, yeah, now I'm doing this fucking shit. I don't know. I am my mood has taken a whole fucking 180. I've been having a terrible fucking day. Just I swear to God, whatever podcast I recorded on the drive up to Manchester from the fucking Boston was genuine. You could have learned so much about me as a person. You could have known everything. I'm not even making that up. I was feeling that low until I just did a set that I really dug into the core of my being. And I was fully convinced. I was I need to put this out. Fuck it. That's what comedy is, man. It's art. You got to put it all out. And then immediately I'm like, why the fuck would I do that? You know? Why the fuck would I just to get fucking ripped to shreds by people whose opinion you shouldn't actually give a shit about? That's really all it's for. No, this podcast exists. I'm probably gonna say it every week. It just exists so I can tell people I do things because I'm not gonna post Instagram reels because I don't think I'm ready as a comic. Actually, I was just fucking doing a show with some really good comics, and one's fucking getting there outside of Boston, and man, he was fucking he was just giving me that same fucking thing of what was I just talking about? I haven't eaten a single bit of food today, and it's 11:36 at night. I'm already kind of sleep deprived. What was he fucking saying? The Jews will not replace us? No. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I was just talking about. I am really that fucking loopy right now. All right. Well, it's a good thing we're already only 3 minutes in, so I don't have to fill a bunch of fucking time after what. Dude, this is really bad. I literally can't fucking think right now. I don't know. Dude, I'm starting to notice how much of doing comedy is a fucking drug. Like, oh, what I think was earlier was that this is a marathon, not a sprint, and it's just it's not worth concerning yourself with, just worrying about fucking. Oh, what was it? Reels? Was that I want to post clips? Yeah, because it's just he was saying use fucking your first 10, 15 years of comedy to get really great at it before you fucking start advertising yourself. Because if you're advertising yourself and the product isn't that good, that's what people think you are. And guess what? I've only been doing comedy for fucking 6 years, all right? That's nothing in the span of time. They say you're not a real comic till you're 10 years in. So why the fuck would I post a bunch of shit to get a bunch of gigs that I'm not ready for and that people aren't gonna ask me back? It's it really is a marathon. People are gonna get shit before you. It's gonna make you jealous. You're gonna drive yourself fucking nuts going why am I not, this thing? But it's just no, what you really want to focus on is just putting out the best product possible because it's not about being the flash in the pan and getting 5 minutes of fame. If you have 5 minutes of fame, but you don't have the social thing that, this is all his advice, not mine, but I'm repeating it, so that way I sound smart, but it's yeah, if, it's but I actually have had this thought before where it's you want to be friends with the Mark Normans and the fucking Dan Soders and the Sam Morrells and anybody else who could get you on a fucking podcast consistently and get your name out there. Have you actually known by an audience rather than they like your clips so they go see you? You don't have an attachment to them, and then once the buzz is off of you, it's off of you. and you're just another fucking has been. And it's like, yeah, I can't fucking if I want stand up to work and it's the only thing I really want to work in my life, like yeah, this is it. Like whatever, man. Like I'm willing to take whatever shit and live whatever level of fucking difficult life it takes to get to where the fuck I want to go. And it's like I'm not in it to be famous and like fucking have, movies and fucking people stop me on the street. Like I don't want that at all. I just want to be a fucking successful comedian, and to do that, like to really do that, I have to get the fuck out of New England, and I got eventually, not right now, but I got to use where I'm at in New England to like get to know all the comics I want to know. That way, when I move to New York, I can actually fucking use those connections instead of moving to New York right now and then just restarting from the bottom, barely knowing anybody. I don't really think that's a good fucking plan. But you guys go fucking do it, I guess. Yeah, I mean, like that's what I gotta fucking do. It's just like, I'm a starving artist. It is what it is. You know. But like, this is my path and I've accepted it. And like, not only that, I like feel pretty confident in it. So I might have missed my exit for 93. We'll see. I gotta fucking put this in my GPS. Is this still recording? Is this still recording? It is still recording. Holy shit. Holy shit. I'm going through a toll that I didn't need to go through. You fucking cunt. No. Fucking shoot me in the goddamn face. All right. No, I guess we're going this way. All right. 37 minutes to home, which means 37 minutes left in the podcast, hypothetically. Dude, my energy has taken a complete 180. Dude, comedy is a fucking drug. All right. If I'm not doing as well as I would like to on stage within a certain frequency, or I'm not doing comedy enough within a certain frequency, I completely lose my mind mentally. And it literally just takes doing fucking well on stage for me to do a complete 180. I don't believe that that's healthy. I don't believe that you're supposed to fucking do that, I just pulled the mic away from my face because I was at a toll booth. Let's hope they didn't fucking get that on camera. What the fuck did I just say? I have literally that little of a short-term memory at this second because I have not eaten any fucking food, and that's not without exaggeration. All right, I have had a horrendously stressful day. I have relapsed on nicotine. Sorry, Mom. And it was going that fucking terrible. All right, my boss just had a baby, so I'm like running a company by my fucking self. And by running a company, I mean I do like 5 hours a day, and I just don't want to deal with people's texts after that. But you know, that's how I am. And no, I fucking yeah, dude. I fucking like I don't know. I dog sitting for the next fucking 5 days. So I'm driving down from Manchester, New Hampshire right now, 11:42 at night, and I'm supposed to be watching a dog right now. So that's good. I mean, they know I'm gonna go out and fucking do my shit, but I still prefer not to fucking leave a dog alone for what is already 4 hours. See you now. Yeah, no, I'm just fucking like, I'm feeling so good. It just took a fucking good set. All right, did I do that much new shit? No, but I got old shit that I was like trying to change up a little bit, and I made it what I wanted it to be. And like, I actually feel like I got the delivery down on some jokes that I've literally been doing for fucking 4 years. Where I'm like, oh, I actually feel like I figured out how to fucking tell this joke now, which is fucking crazy that you have to do like this fucking bullshit that much just to feel like you're making that level of progress on something. I mean, it's like, I don't know. I mean, it's so fucking cool to have something where it's like I can tangibly track my growth as like both a person and a comedian in what I do on stage. And it's like, it becomes like a chicken or the egg thing where you're like, I don't know what's causing what, but like they're intertwining and they're helping each other, And like, I was saying, this is going to sound so pretentious. I was, this fucking student reporter from the Harvard Crimson was at an open mic and doesn't realize I'm fucking nobody. So she asked me to do an interview, right? That's what happened. And, so I just said a bunch of pretentious bullshit for an hour because she found me interesting. And now I'm horrifically worried about when this thing gets posted and how I'm going to come off in it because I'm not going to sound like anybody who isn't a twat. All right. It's going to sound like some sort of fucking Spinal Tap, self-aggrandizing, like, I actually know how it works. And don't get me wrong, I actually do act like that in my day-to-day life, but like I don't need that in print, you know? I don't need a record of it. It would just be better if people were just continuing to talk shit behind my back, all right? That's a lot easier for me to deal with, you know? So that's good. Sorry, I'm fucking driving, and this is definitely not safe in some fucking... But whatever. You really missed a lot in the episode I'm not putting out. Maybe, just maybe, if I get lazy one week, I will record a new introduction being like, hey, this is me mid mental breakdown. And it's like, how do you stop a mental breakdown, Josh? And it's just like, I just got to do a tight, like a good 10. I just got to get a comic that I look up to like it and want to talk to me all night. That's all I needed. I just needed the validation that, hey, maybe if you don't get that bar show, it's not the biggest deal. And also, bitches do be tripping. So, don't worry about it. That's all I needed. I just needed to vent about girl problems to somebody and then do well on stage. And now I'm like a happy person. Isn't that fucking amazing? And I had to vent to the, person, one, because she wanted me to tell her because she was being very cool. And two, because I don't have health insurance for the 7th month and nobody's really done anything. So I am just pretending I'm not going to get a gigantic fine at the end of the year. Fuck, speaking of which, I got to text somebody. But that was not that related, but, it made sense in my head. Anyways, yeah, so I don't have a fucking therapist at the moment. All right, we're raw dogging it, baby. We're doing mushrooms and 2CB and smoking DMT and acid, 2CI. Guys, I've tried drugs, okay? But, I know what I'm doing. I'm talking about mind drugs and not, cocaine and the like. Don't get me wrong, I've done those too, but I am months clean from actual drugs. Not that I ever had a problem, but, I had people who had problems and they were dragging me into their web of bullshit. And, you ever be like amazed, be like, hey, man, I'm glad you broke down and smoked crack at the time you did, because I was really about to start being a coke guy myself. And there was no coming back from that, Jesus. Yeah, I shouldn't, I guess you guys know this now. All right. I was really fucking scared to fucking blow when I fucking, the first few times I did it, but it was just kind of a peer pressure thing. It was really less a peer pressure thing than like you're not going to let me do it alone thing. And then it just got so normalized being around a fucking junkie, Love you, brother, but, where you just start, you stop fucking thinking of like the scare factor of why so many people are afraid of that shit. And, it just becomes like, yeah, I'm fucking good. And then, a couple months later, you'd be like, hey, I've been doing free cocaine for 2 years. I'm starting to think you have a problem, man. Because, right, if you were just doing it occasionally, right, you'd be charging me, correct? You'd be like, hey, you want to go in on this? You wouldn't be like, hey, I just have a bunch of free cocaine, like who doesn't? I'm such a fucking hippie dippy bullshit fucking faggot that I just believe anything anybody says ever. I don't assume anyone's lying, just not a once. Because that's not how I operate. I'm honest to a point where every single buddy, that's so fucking tired of. Every single person I meet is like, hey, that's not, you shouldn't be this, Because people are like, like honest Abe Lincoln, he's such a fucking perfect guy. It's like, no, he probably sucked to be around. I say that as someone who knows it personally, knows being that personally, okay? It's, one, nobody trusts you, ever. Nobody ever thinks you're actually being genuine. Two, turns out people don't like the truth. All right, if everybody is putting up with a person in a friend group who's an asshole, and you're like, hey, why are we dealing with this asshole? Now you're the asshole, not them. Everyone's like, hey, why are you starting shit all the time? Because you just want to call out how everybody else is a shitty person. We don't want to hang out with that guy. Let's make our bad decisions. That was high school for me and college. Anyways, okay, there's a hint of what the last episode was about. It wasn't supposed to be that. I wrote down topics, I had jokes, and then I started talking, and I was like, man, I want to fucking kill myself right now. I was giving inspirational advice. What the fuck's wrong with me? Who the fuck am I to tell you? I guess I kind of was just doing it. This is what I am, guys. I confuse myself. All right. There's a lot of paradoxes here. There's a lot of complexity. There's multitudes. And most of them just end with me saying retarded or faggot. Okay. That's because because I'm very soft and sweet and insecure, and I don't want you to realize that I'm such a bitch, so I act like an asshole because it's an easy defense mechanism, But that's why I'm funny. So it works sometimes, and that's all that matters, It works with a niche audience of jackasses. No, it usually works with niche audiences of the worst people you've ever fucking met who don't realize the actual joke. That's usually where I hit, is the guy where I'm like, I don't think you're being ironic and laughing at this joke, and that's not what we were going for here, buddy. I was doing satire on myself. I was making fun of my own thoughts and going, "Hey, here's how much of an asshole I am," but I'm self-aware about it. And you're just agreeing with me. And that's terrifying. I was just letting the intrusive thoughts out because I find that funny. And I find that that women in South they don't. But, you know, all right. I had topics. I'm gonna try to hit 30 with this one. 55. It was over an hour the last one, and I don't know. I was talking to my friend earlier, and he was talking about like how like they changed the bus rules since we were kids, and he's a little older than me, but he's a lot older than me. But I was being generous because he has feelings, and yeah, dude, he was saying like a school bus is literally can only drop you off in front of your house now, whereas like when I was a kid, we got dropped off up the street and we had to run down the street and like we had there was always like games we played, we'd fucking tackle each other and be fucking kids. And it's like now you can't do literally anything as a child without adult supervision, And look, I'm just saying, if we don't let some kids get molested, the other kids aren't going to learn how to avoid molesters. You know what I mean? Like, if we're not being like, you gotta risk some shit. I mean, within reason. I think we're a little too far in the 70s, right? And don't you wonder how like your parents always brag about how much freedom kids had back then and how we don't have it now? And then you're like, hey, you guys are my parents. You could have just let me have that freedom, right? And then they're like, well, it's a different world now. It's a lot more dangerous. And it's like, dude, I don't know if you've ever watched a Netflix documentary. I'm pretty sure most of the serial killers were in the 70s. Like you didn't have a safer childhood. You just were the survivor. You know? I think old people are tone deaf. That's a fresh original thought. Did you guys seen this? You heard about this? I don't know. There might be a bit there. This is if you realized I'm just kind of working out maybe bits as I fucking sit in a car that I had to borrow because I fucking blew a tire today while I'm fucking trying to get between dog sitting and doing these fucking gigs, which is why I've spent so much time doing it's just I'm fucking on just another fucking level. I got a haircut though. That was nice. I got to see my girl Kat. I go to a salon because I got long hair and I'm not letting a fucking barber ruin this, all right? I invest in my appearance. I'm wearing a new Western shirt. It cost $100 premium denim, baby, from some Western wear store in Denver. I am such a caricature. I'm like a complete fucking yeah. Of course, I'm a hippie who became a wannabe cowboy. What? That's always where this was going. You know? Yeah, I got my nice little shirt. I got new laces for my old shoes because the other ones ripped and I stopped wearing the shoes for a long time. And my other nice shoes are just a little too much for some context, and I think I've made myself look awkward on a couple dates wearing them. So I'm back. I'm back in these ones, baby. Let's see. Dude, I was fucking so I'm like, I'm making a decent amount of money right now with the boss being out, but that's not gonna last. And dude, last week I live with my fucking parents. You guys, go there even if you didn't know that there was context clues in this episode, just by my general demeanor. And yeah, dude, I was like fucking like my parents they're trash people. I don't know how else to say that. They're garbage people. They're very sweet people, but they're not they don't have class. They don't read literature, okay? That's all I'm saying. And I fucking yeah, dude, they like eat like fucking animals. All right, if you looked how skinny I am and then you looked at my family, you'd be like there's no way a baby didn't get swapped at the fucking hospital. And you know, fucking yeah, they eat like fucking garbage and they buy all the fucking groceries. And it's like, yeah, I could go out and buy groceries or I could just eat, free food because I'm poor already. I live with my parents. You guys got that. But dude, then I fucking like I do that, right? And then like I get home and I'm like, I don't want to eat all this garbage. I want to take care of my body. So now I just kind of like essentially live off of oatmeal like a fucking 18th century peasant at this point in my life. It's just it's just eggs and oatmeal. And then I get most of my and then I have one real meal a day that I buy out. I like literally live like a fucking peasant. And astonishingly okay with it because it makes it easier to do stand-up comedy. All right, that's how deep of a hole that I have from my adolescence. That this is my salvation is driving a fucking hour to Manchester, New Hampshire, when you have real responsibilities you should probably be taking care of instead, because those actually make you money. And nope, this is what I want to do. And I'm so happy I did it, because guess what? My day was shitty before this. So go fucking figure, you know? This is all I have, guys. This is all I want. So it's fine. But, you know, get off my back, ladies. Jesus, I'm trying to be happy. This is a continuous struggle in my life. Oh, speaking of ladies, I guess I just wanted to tell this story. That's not how you're supposed to preface it. You're supposed to make it sound smooth. You know, you're supposed to kind of lead into it naturally, where it's like, oh yeah, oh by the way, this story, you know. But I didn't do that at all. So maybe I'm gonna just try to riff my way out of the situation, and then I'm gonna do that later, and then you're not even gonna know, but I'm gonna know, and I'm gonna be like, see, like that's what I'm supposed to be doing. You know, that's what this podcast is. This is an exercise in me learning how to talk to myself, so I can riff on stage better. And how I can talk out ideas instead of writing them word for word so they sound like fucking can. I already think I already talked about this last podcast. I don't fucking know. I don't listen to myself because I hate myself. That's not true. That's not true at all. I'm really proud of myself, actually. Okay, I really like the person I've become, and you don't understand that, but I don't know. I do a lot of drugs, guys. You know, you would understand that if you listened to the previous episode that I recorded, but you're probably not going to listen to that previous episode recorded, because the bad mood me was in the process of posting that, but good mood me is like, you're a retard, and I keep saying this shit I'm telling you, it is the defense. It's, I don't want to be too fucking. Sorry for me to be vulnerable, guys. All right, I wasn't raised to talk about my emotions. All right, I'm a white man from Boston, Massachusetts. All right, there's a lot of, you drink your pain away, and then you do too much acid in college, and it opens too much up too fast, and then you're kind of lost for a couple years. All right, maybe that's a little bit of what happened, you know. But we're good now. We're good now, and we are 18 minutes from home. All right, we're at 24 minutes from for this podcast. Right? You know, and you're here with me, okay? And we're family now. And this is our Olive Garden. That is my podcast. That's kind of a hack joke, I think. But I said it anyways, all right? But I made fun of myself. That's what you got to do as a comedian, is you just say something that you don't respect yourself for saying, but then you make fun of yourself for doing that, and then everybody's okay with it, even though you knew you still took the cheap laugh, and then you got an even cheaper laugh by making fun of the cheap laugh and acting like you're in on the joke, you know? When really you just are really mad at yourself because you actually just fucking pulled that bullshit, you know? This is comedy and what it does to you. I don't know. By the way, did I mention the NPR thing earlier? Did I do that riff? I think I did in the last one. I think I did it earlier. Guys, I need food. I need nutrients, I need energy, I need brain power. You're not supposed to just not eat for a whole day and subsist off of black coffee because you had to rush to work because you didn't go to bed early enough because you were having a bad night and thinking of the bad thoughts because you're trying to quit nicotine, and then you fucking wake up, when you don't want to, and then you have to work all day. You didn't have time for breakfast because you didn't want to wake up, and then you go to work, and then you do 2 hours of hiking, and then you don't get any food after that, and then you spend 3 hours, if not 4, between getting a haircut, running home, calling AAA because your tire broke, borrowing a car, yelling at your parents because they're fucking a pain in the ass, and then, fucking rushing back to the city, taking care of the dog, dropping stuff off, taking a shower, driving all the way to New Hampshire. By the time you get off stage, because you don't like to eat before you go on stage because it makes you sluggish, the kitchen's closed and nothing else is open in the fucking neighborhood because this is Manchester, New Hampshire, and there's no late night food. And then you're like, all right, do I get fucking Wendy's on the way home or McDonald's on the way home? But then you're like, oh, I should probably re-record that podcast so I don't, give out a bunch of info that I don't really owe anybody besides myself. And maybe it was just cathartic to record it. And, it can just be that, but it doesn't need to be for everybody. I don't know, guys. All right. I don't want to be a therapy for comedy, guys. And not only that, it wasn't funny. This is kind of funny. I'm actually doing good this time. I don't know. Where are the clips in this? All right. What can I post on my Instagram so I don't have to post stand up? I was talking about that earlier. I don't know. Ugh. Guys, I'm happier right now than an autistic teenage, or when you tell them a fun fact. I don't know. Is that a joke? See, I don't structure jokes like that. It's conversational with me, right? How I would structure that joke that I just wrote and told you. So I guess I just structured it the other way. But, is like more something along the lines of, like, Dude, I found like a new fucking hobby recently, right? Like I found like a new way to make myself feel good every day, which is like whenever I go into a store that has like an obviously autistic teenage cashier, I just tell them a cool fact and just watch how much that makes their day. And that makes my day because, I like, I like making people feel good. And it is astonishingly easy to make an autistic teenager feel good because people are usually fucking mean to them. And, see, is that's not a good enough joke for stage. See, that's what we're doing. I'm not supposed to acknowledge that this is what I'm doing. All right, I'm supposed to pretend that I'm actually just naturally riffing all of this. And most of I mean, this is actually, I have topics, but I don't have like fucking anything written out. So this actually is riffing, but I'm supposed to be cool about it. But I'm too tired and really not even tired. I'm too hungry to do this and not fucking, make myself feel like an idiot. That's really where we're at. Because if this doesn't work out, I'm just gonna just decide to be like some fucking, how like some small towns, right? Have like, you ever have like a friend who tells you a story about like, yeah, our town has just like this one weird guy who has like this one quirk, and everybody knows him, and it's like, oh yeah, that's Jim. He fucking, you know, he takes all the bottle caps out of all the bottles in the recycling bins. And just collects the caps, and you're like, that's cool. I think I want, like, if comedy doesn't work, I'm just gonna be that type of guy, you know? I'm just gonna get real fucking weird with it. You know? That's because why not? Once you get to a certain age, you're like, nobody's gonna want to fuck me anyways. You know? Dude, that's like a problem I have as a comic is like, as the person in me wants, I'm, look, I think I'm pretty funny. I know I can do well and say the right things that will make me fuckable to women in the audience. All right? Maybe they're probably not gonna go through with it because they've heard my jokes. But, at least I can get like a little flirty banter in there, get a couple fucking Instagram followers, grab a couple drinks at a second location, and it goes nowhere because, they're like, I'm not going to date. They were like, I was drunk and I like the attention, but I'm not going to date a stand up fucking comedian because I make good decisions in life, But, you get a couple of them every once in a while, and that's always nice. So, I mean, the secret is the actually hot ones that you want to fuck have better shit to do. But 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 the 6 you settle for will actually fuck you. Okay, that's, Anyways, but yeah, then I am constantly, specifically when I'm doing shows in like fucking Southie where it's just fucking hot chicks in the audience and you're like, I just want one of you to want to fuck me. And I know because you get up and they look at you and they're like, you can tell some of them think you're really cute and that feels really great. And then I just say all of the horrendous things that I write down and think are funny because my friends think they're funny. And usually a bunch of affluent white women who don't know what it's really like to be fucking hip man, you know. They don't know the real fucking world, they've never washed dishes. Those types of girls fucking they don't like those types of things. And like, I'm like, I could just lie. I could just hide the things about myself that are true and I have funny jokes about. I could hide those things to be more fuckable to you, or I could actually be the stand-up fucking comedian I want to be. And it's like, you don't know how much I sacrifice to do this, guys. All right? It's not just a real job and a comfortable life. It's all the pussy that comes with not living like a fucking degenerate. Right? It's actually being able to maintain a relationship at 26 years old because somebody thinks they can build a future around you. All right? It's just getting laid in the middle of, even if you skip those parts, then you're just not getting laid when you easily fucking could at a show because you don't want to be the next Matt Rife. You think Louis C.K.'s funnier. That's what I'm fucking doing with my life. And it's like all of the decisions are bad from an ego and a self-fulfillment and like a fucking, from like a feeding your own bullshit perspective. Those are all bad decisions, right? But from like a goddamn, what did I just do? Oh my god, I put the fucking wrong address in my goddamn GPS. Are you fucking I put the right address in, but Waze fucking pushed me to the wrong place. I didn't make a mistake. The fucking app did. The computer's wrong. I never. No, I swear to fucking God, I actually put the right address in, and I guess when Waze goes like, are you heading here? You're not. Are you heading? No, you're not heading here. But you're heading here, right? That's what I fucking hate. I was gonna blame ways on a group of people. I don't know what group of people. I couldn't think of one that wasn't ridiculously offensive for no reason. Yeah, great. Now I'm getting back to Boston. Fucking way fucking goddamn later than I could have. All right. Well, it added 14 minutes, and it was originally a 51-minute drive. So I actually think I'm going exactly the direction and speed that I could have, and I'm complaining about nothing. You know, because I want to feel right about something. Because it makes me feel like it makes me feel like some semblance of control if I'm right about everything all the time. Because realistically, in life, we have no control, and everything is up to fate. No matter how much we believe in the freedom of choice. I didn't know where I was going with this. I mean, it's true, but now I just sound like a fucking. It's redundant. We've heard the same hippie bullshit before repackaged. But you know what? I believe it. I believe all that hippie bullshit. And the comedian in me wants to make fun of me so goddamn bad all the fucking time, right? But then the hippie in me is like, I don't know, dude. I was on 2CB at a concert the other day, right? And I was tripping, and it was kind of going fine, but it was like kind of like I could just have. There's like a bad vibe in the spot that I was standing, right? There was just like some pit in my chest that made me uncomfortable, and what's crazy is you want to say that fucking hippies are brain dead weirdos, right? Well, guess what? What's crazy? What's fucking really crazy is that like exactly when I'm thinking these thoughts, some girl clearly had the exact same interpretation of that moment because she just started burning sage and waving it around the exact area I was in where I was feeling that negative vibe. And guess what? It fucking worked. It's like you don't think I want to make fun of me right now? You don't think I'm not going fucking really, Josh? Sage, you really believe in burning sage casts out negative energy? Yeah, I do now. I do exactly right now. Is that somehow subconsciously our the we had a connection because we were all on drugs together where we could feel each other's energy. I don't even think you need to be on drugs for that, right? You can feel the energy of a room when you walk in it, right? You can sense there's a palpable. You don't need. I just attribute everything to drugs because that's makes them sound better. You know, I don't think you need drugs to like find things through yourself. I just think that they're a shortcut. I don't know. Where am I at on time? I thought I was gonna end at 42 because that's when I was supposed to be home. But now I got fucking 18 minutes left in this drive, and I'm at 36 minutes, which is pretty good. And I don't know. I do. I've been like fucking. Like, you ever like look at people you used to be jealous of as a kid? Like they were cooler than you, they were more popular than you, they fucking got whatever. And then you like start like grow like gaining like actual self confidence. Maybe this is just me. You start actually getting like a belief in yourself, and like, and nah, I'm actually pretty fucking cool if I let myself be. And you're like, why the fuck was I jealous of those losers? You know, like they got like you look at them as you got nothing going on, right? No offense, guys. I love you still, but I got, I, you know, I get to do fucking Laugh Boston in small theaters, and I get to hang out with fucking real fucking national headliners, and I fucking, not to mention all the Grateful Dead shit where you're just like, yeah, dude, like, man, like fucking. And I was always this kid is just what passes for cool in high school, what passes for cool as an adult are very different things. And I maybe just probably could have had better parents who could have, built up my self esteem a little bit. Who knows? Again, this is the hints of the last podcast, guys. All right, I'm still kind of feeling a little bit. I need a relapse on nicotine. I need to throw one in. I sound like I'm on fucking coke or Adderall or something. But I swear to God, I'm just on. I'm being released from walking around with negative energy all day because I was just asking for advice on comedy, and you just not only did I go do well, you just hear the exact fucking thing you need to hear at that second, and they don't know that they're telling you that exact thing, and you're like, holy shit, yeah. Just yeah, you know. So thanks to those three comedians for being there for me today because we all need to be there for each other, okay? We all need to love each other. They love each other. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm hippie, guys. I'm a real hippie, okay? My solution to everything in life is literally just be kinder. And I actually believe it. If everybody was just, not completely absorbed by their own fucking ego and they weren't treating other people as reflections of their own ego, right? And every interaction they had with somebody wasn't something about social hierarchy, so they could find someone to place themselves above or someone to make them feel, that they're not good enough, because that's what our brain does to us, or we weren't, you know, viewing somebody's worth as their social status, but their worth is actually like the content of their actual character and how they treat you and how they interact with you and how they make you feel, rather than like, oh, my friends don't think this person's cool enough, so I can't hang out with them. Like, why? Or I'm gonna make fun of them in front of my friends, even though I consider them one of my best friends, just because it makes me feel cool, look cooler if I'm putting somebody else down. Like, people still do that shit as fucking adults. It drives me. It's insane. And then when you call them out on that same bullshit, now you're the asshole. I think I kind of was referencing this earlier, where it's like, now you're starting shit because you're not willing to accept somebody being completely fucking disrespectful to you, you know? Because, you were less cool than them when we started comedy, and now they want to act like they're still the fucking cool kid, when it's like, no, you're fucking in your late 30s trying to bully a 23-year-old, just that was what it used to be back in the day. Now I'm a 26-year-old, and I'm almost a 27-year-old, and I'm still dealing with the same bullshit from all these same fucking people. And it's like, dude, it's just not worth the mental energy, you know? It's like, I'm just gonna accept I'm not gonna do everything, but I'm not gonna let that fucking bring me down. I'm not gonna like ignore all the good things I'm doing and how good I feel about myself in certain contexts just because in other contexts I don't feel that good. Like, what's even it's like, yeah, man, not everybody's gonna fucking like you, but like the people who are right for you are. It's like, yeah, if these comedians don't want to fucking work with me, it's like, well, then I look at like, okay, who are you booking? Do I think they're funny? No. Then why do I want to be compared to them? Yeah, I want the work, but like, you know, what you're trying to cater is is a style of comedy and a sense of humor that I don't have. So why would I I want to be in that situation because I want to put myself in a room where maybe I don't feel like the show's for me, but I want to get that audience to get it, right? But like sometimes it's like, yeah, it's like I feel weird when I hang out with these comics and they don't book me on their show, and I feel like they make fun of me in a way that isn't really a joke and they actually fucking mean it. And then I'm like, yeah, I don't like them as people though, you know? Like, I think they're genuinely petty, miserable, fucking never wases and never will be's who are just trying to lord the slight sense of social clout they have in a regional comedy scene to make people who make them feel threatened feel shitty about themselves. And when they stand up for themselves and be like, hey, well, I get all this other stuff and like I actually feel secure in myself, they go, oh, what a fucking ego this guy has because he doesn't want to treat me like I'm 7 levels above him, even though I'm not actually fucking funny and I'm doing the same jokes I was doing fucking when we met. You know? That's not about anybody in particular, but I just figured if I painted with enough broad brushes, I'd hit at least a couple nails on the head. And, you know, and then it's funny when people who I'm not talking shit about go, hey, why are you talking shit about me on your podcast? And I'm like, dude, I love you, but if what I said makes you feel bad about yourself, just know that other people are thinking it and saying it behind your back. So maybe just get better as a comic. And if anybody has something like this about me to say, please never do. Or do, because I've freaking heard it all before, all right? You know? Like, yeah, I'm trying too hard to be a fucking pretentious ass artist, and we're in an entertainment business where we're supposed to sell drinks to fucking marks because we're basically fucking carnies, all right? And you have to play to the lowest common denominator and not just the fucking hoity-toity George Carlin fans that you like as a comedian. And then I'm like, well, but also I can just say pussy and cunt and fucking cock and dong and farts, and that's funny to me. No, I can just talk about whatever I actually want and then actually enjoy the pursuit I'm doing and not make it about fucking validation from bookers and audience members who aren't really my fucking audience, but actually going, oh, maybe if I'm just like good enough to get in these certain rooms, I'll bump shoulders with enough headliners who actually like what I'm doing because they understand that I'm not focusing on it from the perspective of getting all the fucking shows in New England. Right? It's like, yeah, all the fucking famous comedians who stayed in New England and fucking made it where they wanted to be, all of them. You can name all of them, but there's none of them. So you can name all of them very easily. Yeah, I mean, when that's like the fucking barometer for comedy, it's like, yeah, maybe just like focus on the fact that these headliners really are nice to you and respect you and treat you like something. But this person you started with fucking 5 years ago doesn't think they're good enough. You're good enough for their bar show. Maybe just focus on you, bro. You know, maybe just take the validation from people who actually matter and don't take the validation from people who are just another nobody like you are, because I am a fucking nobody and that's just self-awareness. So it's like, yeah, I think we should all just do what feels right, because this is an art and it's a pursuit and it's supposed to be fucking fun. And if you're doing what is fun for you on stage, it might not be for everybody, but it's going to be for you, and it's going to make you motivated to get up and work harder every single day to make it for everybody and go, I want to get so good at this that I can do what I think is fun, and everybody will get why I'm doing it. And not everybody, obviously, you're never going to get everybody, but enough to get, to be fucking a real headlining fucking comedian, but not successful enough that people want to talk to me and take pictures with me, because I'm terrified of most people. And yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling so motivated right now. I was feeling so down in the dumps, and now I'm like, yeah, I the world is my oyster. That's the thing. For the people who are like, you know, maybe you should focus on like, being able to pay rent, and what about medical bills? What if your car breaks down? What if you die? What if something happens and you have to pay for somebody else's bullshit? And it's like, yeah, but like, you could also just kill for fucking 17 people in Manchester, New Hampshire on a Wednesday and be like, life's amazing now. You could also just do that. You know, yeah, fuck it, dude. Just fuck it. Just have fun. We're all gonna die. All right? Just have fun. So. See, that's the problem, is when your goal is having fun, is the highs and lows. When shit doesn't go wrong, we record to go. If when shit you think is gonna be fun isn't as fun as you think it's gonna be, and you invest a lot of energy and hope into those things, and people continue to walk all over you, and you let them because you assume the best of everybody, right? When that happens, you go, hey, my life sucks and I want to die, and then it just takes one little thing to flip the switch, and the up and down of that, making your entire life feel like a toxic situationship. It's both the best and worst thing in the world. I truly, I'm sure you guys can understand that. I should get some fucking food before I fucking take this dog out. I'm gonna take the dog out and then I'm gonna get food and I'm gonna go to bed. Or you know what? I'm gonna order fucking DoorDash like a cunt. I don't know. I don't know the exact. Okay, dude. I'm living in I'm living. I'm staying in this nice fucking penthouse. And it's not really a penthouse. In this townhouse fucking loft. It's not even townhouse. It's in like an old fucking like Fisherman's Wharf Navy Yard building in Charlestown, and I'm staying in these fucking people's amazing loft that makes me go, yeah, I understand why a woman would dump me to marry a man who can afford this. But when I'm doing that, and I don't know, it's like there's no. The address is just the cut in street to park, or not really park, just like the driveway to the fucking walkway to this apartments. I don't know how to fucking order DoorDash to there. We'll see what fucking happens. I mean, I could always just be like, hey, can you text me when you're outside? So yeah, I'm gonna fucking do that. I'm gonna take care of this dog, and then I'm gonna put out this episode of the podcast, because this one not only a lot less depressing, it was actually funny, which is what we're going for. Comedians are supposed to make people laugh and not just rely on sympathy and making people feel bad to get cheap laughs and then pretend that they're actually a funny comedian when most people are just too kind to let you do that fucking bullshit. You're kind of cute. Yeah. Anyways, all right. Yeah, that's been the podcast. Thank you for listening. If you actually did listen, I'm not even gonna look at the analytics because I think it's a waste of my time. And it's usually just gonna make me feel bad. So, yeah, all right. I will have a good fucking week. Where am I? Even though nobody's gonna come, but it makes me sound professional if I list dates at the end of a podcast, even though I'm not fucking headlining a single goddamn one of them. I will be at Sea Hag Brewing, or I don't know if it's brewing. Sea Hag, which is a bar near Harvard Square tomorrow night at 10 p.m. By tomorrow night, I mean today, when I release this fucking podcast, or I'm gonna release it right now at midnight, and then I'm gonna post it about tomorrow. So when anybody is listening to this first time, I'll be at Sea Hag in Cambridge. My weekend just opened up, so I got nothing. I'm gonna go hang out with my friends and probably go to a bunch of bars I don't like, and I'm not even drinking, so it's gonna be extra bad. But I want to see my friend, so it is what it is. I had to spend too long because I'm way too absorbed in this comedy shit, and sometimes you just need to give yourself a break and like be a human being. Yeah, and then fucking Sunday, I'm gonna be tagging at the comedy studio. I'm gonna be doing a spot on that, and then Monday I'm gonna be at Lucky's Lounge. Wednesday, I believe I'm gonna be at Capo, and then after that, it's gonna be a whole new week because I'm gonna record a whole new episode. And yeah, I'm aiming to record this every Tuesday, but I fell behind because life's difficult, and I'm not a fucking full time comedian who can just fucking you know, do everything exactly when he wants to fucking do it. All right. Thank you guys for listening. Have a great week. Unless I don't like you. And then, I'm not going to say have a bad week. I don't wish ill on anybody. I hope it's fine. I just hope it's not that satisfying, really. I hope it's a good week, but it's just, there's something in you that's not like fully satisfied, and you don't really know what that is, and you try to fill that hole with superficial things, and then I sit here laughing at you because my life is deeper than yours, man. See, that got too mean. I was trying to be funny, and it was a little real. Sure, about some people, not everybody. And if it's you, I'm not gonna if you think it's you, it's probably not you. The real people I actually fucking hate would never know. That's why you hate them, because they're not self-aware. All right. That was a weird ending, but I gotta fucking finish this anyways. So, as you hear me fucking get out of my fucking car, which is not my car. I had to borrow a different car because my car, I already told you about that. All right. Have a good fucking week, and I'll talk to you next week. Now I'm just rambling. All right. Bye.